Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. On Sunday, I would want to discuss two topics with you. Topic number one is our finance secretary went out and said that, pushing more money into education will achieve nothing. Finance secretary. He said, paisa kyun dalne ka education? We will go in depth as to what he said. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is former Chief Justice of India, Justice Lalit. He was talking in a media conference, a media event, where he said that, listen, fair criticism cannot be sedition. Fair criticism should be taken as fair criticism. That's what media is supposed to do. This statement of his reminded me of vinodduwa ji. Let's talk about that. Let's get right into the show. Okay, so my first topic, like I said, is where the Finance Secretary, Mr. T.V. Somanathan, suggested that, spending more money on education and all is useless, Baba. Kuch hota nahi hai aisa. Okay, you should look at quality education and not quantity education. That's what he said. I will just take you through what he said and then we will get into it. He said, it's not quantity in education, it's quality. Whether the teacher attends the school, does he teach well? Does he make the child do homework? Does he not pass the child whether the child has learnt or not? These are not money. So actually, pushing more money into education will achieve nothing. He went on to say that a SOP of the conscious of the intelligentsia, that we are doing something for it, is what is really required. He said, depoliticize university. This was what he had to say. And he is the finance secretary. Name is T.V. Somanathan. My God. There's a very famous saying. The famous saying is, you don't need bombs and nuclear bombs and atom bombs and all that to destroy a country. You don't need that. You can easily destroy a nation by stopping education, by pulling down all the schools and colleges. You can destroy that nation. That nation won't last. Take away education and nothing is left. I was hoping that finance secretary, people who are UPSC, I'm sure this gentleman is a UPSC product. He's passed one of the most toughest exams in the world. Finance secretaries would be speaking more for education. I could understand some politicians going against it. But a finance secretary who himself is educated, I'm sure his family, his children are being educated. I was sure he would advocate more to spend more money for education. And this gentleman actually speaks about taking away budgets, not giving enough budgets to education. I am shocked, appalled. In fact, not only that, I think he is also going against what the Prime Minister of India said. The Prime Minister of India said that we should be focusing on education. Now, the difference here is that, you see, a visionary, like I always say, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, I have tremendous regard for Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and I give him a lot of credit for whatever has happened in India and the growth we have achieved in India, the kind of leadership that we have globally is, I would give a lot of credit to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is because it was his vision of the IIMs and the IITs that has made us so progressive in the world. It is his vision. Imagine if he would have thought like T.V. Somanathan and said, "Kya ko paisa kharch karne ka education mein? Chhod yaar, what education and all that." Yeah. Had he thought of that in, when we were independent, when we became independent, when we needed money, the, resources were very, very limited, needs were unlimited and huge, he still thought of education. And that's precisely what I am appalled. Like I said, I'm appalled that a finance secretary is making this kind of statement. You know what? Is this how our bureaucracy is thinking? Is this how the way they are thinking? Are these the people who are planning our country for us? Are these the people who are planning the future of your child and mine? Which is more appalling? Because then, what future are you talking about? Then, what What progress are we seeing in this country? Because you have one set of people who are flaming the communal sentiments and who are asking, who are playing religious communal politics in schools and colleges. And at another end, you have the bureaucracy that says, kidhar paisa waisa dene ka school ko. So that's my topic number 1. Let's quickly get into my topic number 2. Justice UU Lalit. Now, before I get into my topic, I will take since it's Sunday, I'm going to take the liberty to give an opinion. I always thought that Justice UU Lalit would make a fabulous Chief Justice. I always thought. You see, he was man of few words. He didn't make major comments. He didn't get into controversies. He was not the one who would, play to the gallery. All that he never did. He was quiet. He did his work. But I thought he was one person who would actually make a lot of difference had he had more tenure, had he had more time in that seat, in that chair of CJI. Because the moment he came in, huge amount of reforms, at least he initiated, because that's all the time he had. So that is my opinion. Like I said, being Sunday, let me take the liberty to just give you some opinions of my own. Anyway, coming back to the topic. Justice UU Lalit was addressing a gathering of various media personalities. And in this event, Justice Lalit advocated for freedom of press. He said, fair criticism is the right to every individual. It is the cherished right of every journalist. I have every right to comment upon the policies and the act of the government. If I do that, then it is not sedition. Sedition is something bigger than that. Inciting dissatisfaction, to incite rebellion. If I do something which is to highlight the problem by people and I put it across, it is not sedition. Now, like I told you, this particular topic is pretty close to my heart. It is close to my heart is because I saw a former colleague, late Shri Vinoddua, going through hell, emotionally, personally, physically. When something he said during the pandemic in our channel was challenged, there were FIRs filed against him in Delhi, there were FIRs filed against him in Himachal Pradesh, there were FIR filed against him, and there were cops that were sent to his house. I know what it means when you are called a Deshdrohi. That is what sedition means. A Deshdrohi. A man, a Padma Shri, a person who I know for a fact was a complete patriot. Every word he said for this country. Every statement he made was made to make this country a better place. He spoke for crores of people of this country. And he was called a Deshdrohi. And I know what he went through. I know personally, I know what he went through. We would speak almost every second day over the phone. And I know how elevated he was. When the same judge, UU Lalit, the same judge quashed the case. And we won the case. So, law is supposed to be for the betterment of you and me. It is supposed to ensure that there's no injustice done to you. That's what laws are. But then certain laws are used against your interest. Sedition is one of them. If a journalist is not allowed to criticize the policies of the government, if a journalist is not allowed to criticize the policies and the working of the Prime Minister, of the Prime Minister's office, of a particular minister, his department, if we are not allowed to criticize, then pray tell me who is going to tell you that something is going wrong. Criticism is the foundation stone, is the basis of democracy. A person who criticizes, and next time when a lot of you will also comment that, you have taken money or when you comment all that, who are you trying to shut up? People who are talking for your benefit, talking for your behalf? You see, when a journalist criticizes somebody, It's the choice is yours whether to believe it or not believe it. But shutting him down, is that what you want to do? And if you shut everybody down like this, who speaks against the government, what you have is every single media speaking for the government. Do you think it's going to solve your problem? Are you going to be happy? Is it in your interest? The final point I want to make here is, I'm mixing up a lot of topics. Like I said, I am talking today, it's a Sunday editorial, so I'm going to speak my heart out. So excuse me for that. Humor me today. See, the Prime Minister of India spoke about scams. He said, from 2004 to 2014, there were scams. It was scam-ridden. It was. Nobody can deny that. But the fact is, would you want to stay in a country where scams happen and those scams are identified, stopped, people behind those scams are arrested, or at least the government's concerned, the sitting government is thrown out like Manmohan Singh's government was thrown out in 2014? Would you like to be in a country like that, or would you like to be in a country that is like an ostrich who believes that nothing is happening, everything is fine? It is the job of a journalist to go and to find out and to figure out, to probe, to investigate and get, and if there is, he or she feels something is wrong, to get it to your notice. It is his or her job as a journalist. And if you stop him or her from doing it, who are you benefiting? Are you benefiting you? Is it benefiting you, or is it benefiting the politician? And today, with these kind of laws, these kind of Desha Droha law, that is 124A, it's easy, it's draconian. You say something against the government doesn't like it, they will catch you by a collar, put you in the jail. And then, you see, journalists too have families. Even we have families. Even we have a house, we have bills to pay. So, when we come and when we talk, and if something goes wrong, and when we are arrested or we get notices like this, 124, when that notice went to Mr. Dua, who was there with him? Nobody. We had to fight all alone. All alone. So the fact is, like he very popularly said, one of the I would want you to hear this poetry of his.
हमारे यहाँ एक कवि हुए हैं इब्ने इंशा. उनका कहना है, हक अच्छा, पर हक के लिए कोई और लड़े तो और अच्छा. सच अच्छा, पर सच के लिए कोई और मरे तो और अच्छा. लोग हमसे कहते हैं कि आप हमारे हकों की लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं, आप हमारी आवाज़ उठा रहे हैं. उठाते रहिए. हम तो उठाते रहेंगे, आप क्या करेंगे? आप अपनी ज़िंदगी यूं ही जीते रहेंगे. अब आप प्रजा नहीं हैं, आप गुलाम नहीं हैं, आप नागरिक हैं. और क्योंकि आपके पास वोट है, आपको भी काबिल नागरिक बनना है. आप कोई हाकिम चुनने नहीं जा रहे, आप मालिक चुनने नहीं जा रहे, राजा चुनने नहीं जा रहे. आप अपना सर्विस प्रोवाइडर चुनने जा रहे हैं, सेवक चुनने जा रहे हैं.
To conclude, I completely agree to Justice U. Lalit. A journalist should have the right to speak. You take away that right from the journalist, it is not the journalist, more than the journalist, it is the people of that country that loses the right to democracy. That's the point, and have a great Sunday till I see you day after tomorrow. That is on Tuesday. Namaskar.